So today we're talking about, welcome to the news by the way, stay to the end to find out how we get there. And today we're talking about how the connection between spiritual finance and the Bible are interrelated, interconnected. The Bible is something, obviously, it's well known. It's a consistent text across multiple avenues of Christianity. And the basis in terms of alignment with this specific religion in correspondence to spiritual finance is something that is not specifically aligned with a particular religion or text or specific past encounter regarding religion. In other words, so spiritual finance is just something that's unique to the essence of how we look at the overall spectrum of what is possible between humanity and the conscious and the subconscious in connection to the Bible. However, in connection to the Bible, there's also a whole host of items in the Bible that are connected specifically to spiritual finance in terms of the way you treat people, in terms of the way you treat your neighbor, in terms of the correspondence, in terms of values. I would say there's an alignment in terms of the goal, how to try to get from one place to another, how to try to cause a result that corresponds to spiritual finance that is aligned between the Bible and spiritual finance and Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios and the intention of our brand, the intention of the global good deeds economy, the intention of the global philanthropy energy grid, the intention of trying to find more valuable connectivity between the subconscious and developing a template, a code, if you will, a code alignment, developing logic connectivity between reality and non-reality, meaning past stories that have existed in the past and have been empirically and historically documented, as well as alignment with data that's consistently unfolding within markets, financial markets, that speaks volumes about people on a consistent basis. And then regarding business music has to do with the idea that every person is playing business music from their soul and the essence of the vibrations and the frequencies that they put out and are emitting from the senses of their soul, from their energy, that's natural energy that corresponds to all the other energy in the world and the markets, is the template. It's a template corresponding to Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios, Dinky T, Change for Games, to try to acknowledge all this energy and put it in an order and organized fashion. And that's similar to what the Bible is. It's a template for Christianity. It's a template for how to treat people. It's a template for an ideation regarding a smooth acknowledgement of past stories connected to Jesus Christ as well as God. And all these things are energies which bind us, and they bind our processes and our principles. And the other hand, the other side of having a template is chaos. It's the chaos theory. It's a need or an interest to have order in connection to the nervous system, to the chaos that is in the universe and in our world in terms of energetic chaos, and then therefore the structure that corresponds to our societies in correspondence to what Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios is attempting to try to align with, so that everyone in the world has alignment, finds alignment, and can acknowledge alignment within themselves, with for and by themselves, based on acknowledging themselves as energy, and also global markets being consistent energy as well, and not thinking of global markets as something that are overwhelming, which in the past have always been preached as items that are overwhelming the global markets, because there's a lot of data analysis that occurs as opposed to the basics and the basis for global markets, which have to do with just acknowledging that we're all human beings and we're all just displaying consistent day-to-day activity in the form of data by reading individual statistics that add up to larger aggregate statistics and breaking them down. It's just acknowledging that we're all people and we're just acting, and this is the data that has resulted around the world, and that this therefore causes an attempt to develop a personality around ourselves as humanity, and that therefore gives us the opportunity to change that conceptual potential outcome and frequency that we're emitting into the universe, and then therefore collectively, harmoniously improve and influence our future, as opposed to focusing on our past, like the Bible, to influence our future by acknowledging the data and using market data to just therefore all collectively, globally, be able to refine and evolve ourselves as one humanity and a connective, collective universe that corresponds to every single religion in one connectivity. But that's how we, as a template mindset, are trying to align and be parallel to the Bible, if you will. And that's all for now. Thanks again. Dinky Tech and Change for Games Studios. Dinky T, Change for Games. Bye, peace, bye. And let's all remember to push for world peace every single day. Let's all remember to push for world peace every single day. Let's push for world peace every single day. And also, let's remember to try to clear the animal shelters. Let's clear all the animal shelters in the world. Let's clear all the animal shelters in the world, because we can foster all the shelter animals. We can adopt all the shelter animals in the world. We can rescue all the shelter animals in the world. And we can also hire the shelter animals as healers. We can also hire the shelter animals as healers all throughout the world, so that they don't have to be mistreated in animal shelters. And we can clear the animal shelters, and we can hire the shelter animals as healers throughout our communities. Hire the shelter animals as healers throughout our communities, because they also work for free, and they could use better purpose and use better jobs and be able to add value and be therapeutic energy for humans and humanity, to help us be more harmonious as humans and among humanity for all the animals in the world, to clear all the animal shelters, to try to get them to transition their energy in terms of therapeutic energy to all humans, so we can clear the animal shelters to add value to humanity in terms of harmony if possible. And let's push for world peace every single day and clear the animal shelters every day. That's all for now. Thanks again. Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios. Bye. Peace. Bye.